Welcome to the DSMC Sunday night live chat. I'm your host, PJ, joined by my cohorts. Oh, and another one now. Hopefully, there he is. There he is.
Got there.
So we got Mr. Martin there. Good evening, Martin.
Evening, people.
We got Phil. Good evening, Phil from Yorkie. We got Luke from Scale Customs.
Evening, everyone. Merry Christmas.
And just through the back door, I left the latch off for him. Good evening, Bryan.
Light on Bryan again, sorry.
Good evening to you all. Thank you for. I know it's a bit of a funny date, this one, the 28th. It's neither one thing or the other, really. But we've tried to squeeze one in just before the start of the new year. So we're going to do a bit of a follow-up to our Christmas version that we did. Good evening to everybody in the chat. Good evening to Obito. Good evening to John Atwell. Good evening to Darren. Good evening to John Scale Modelling. Good evening to Mr. Ian Holly. Thanks, guys, for coming. Our regulars are back in the chat. Good to see you all. We're hoping for some questions this week, so if you've got anything to ask, by all means, drop it in the live chat and we'll get the guys to have a look and see what they think and give you some answers. So, what are we going to do? We've got some questions, but what we'll do first, we'll just check, see if everybody's all right, if they've been doing anything they have. If they haven't, they haven't. It's a funny old time of the year for getting anything done. So, Martin, yours has been more of a rearrangement and admin and
yeah,
and
right.
you
Yeah.
name it.
Yeah. Well, I've been clearing out the big shed today, getting all the junk out, so I can move some stuff from one of the smaller sheds into the big shed. But I've got a load of model kits I've laid out on there. Hopefully, when a certain person comes up, they can have a look. Yeah. So tomorrow, I should be moving some more stuff out of the small shed and moving all my train stuff out. There's some furniture in there, so I should be lost in there for a couple of hours. Yeah, so I've been doing that. Yeah. And I found a spring. I found a spring that I lost. Yeah. I've done that. It took me ages to find it, but I found it. Yeah. That's me,
Phil?
really. Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry, go on, what?
No, that's it, really. I haven't done any. I've sorted out some die casts for next month, what I hopefully do, the European Challenge. Looks like I'm going to be doing either a Volkswagen camper, Corgi one, or the Volkswagen panel van, Corgi. I'm not sure which one yet.
Nice, mate.
Yeah. So that's it, really.
Yeah, I've decided to take a little bit of a break from it for December, what with Christmas and everything else, although I ended up getting quite a few kits and die-cast and Hot Wheels given to me as presents anyway, so that'll all go in the mix. As for actual doing anything, all I've done is I pulled out very similar to Martin by the sounds of it, a Volkswagen, but it's the Majorette one, which I'm putting in the January challenge when I start it. So yeah.
Good stuff. Luke's been rebuilding his house, basically, other than...
We're nearly sorted on that. And you know what? I'm looking forward to getting back in the shed properly. It's tough. Last 3 months been unreal with it. And I haven't done not much in the way of die cast, obviously, with Christmas. I have managed to do a couple of hours in the shed today. I got cleaned up. I'm just working on it at the minute. Now, these are for my brother. Set of power fold mirrors. They're in undercoat at the minute. They're going gloss black there for his camper van. They've got I've taped them up for now. You can see it there. That's like the radar system that goes in the glass to let you know when someone's passing you.
All right.
So they're for the Merc printer. So I'll get some colour on them tomorrow. And then that'll be it. I have took some parts off the sprue on the Rebel kit, the Mustang kit. So I'm going to finish that for the first video in January. And that's about where I'm up to. I know Santa has brought me a brand new printer, a bigger one, the Saturn 5.
Did you have to dress up as Santa to deliver it to
Yeah,
yourself?
I did. Outside the statement as well. Well, the wife bought it me. She doesn't know yet.
Did you? She's looking for a purse now, is she?
Yeah. So, yeah, that's where we're up to. That's
Good
what
lad.
we're doing.
Bryan, good to see you, mate. Any news? Anything new?
No, not really. Got all the bits now for the printer, thankfully. So that's all good. But Christmas has effectively been one big Boxing Day. It's now 11 days to the move, so you can imagine what our Christmas has been like. We didn't even bother with presents for each other. It's been bedlam. So yeah, pretty much that. I'm afraid.
Are you down to the carrier bags yet?
Oh, do you know what, Mark? I don't think it'll be long.
Because it always cracks me up. You always start off with the amount of people I've moved with the kids and stuff, and myself and that. You start off with the boxes all nice and neat, you know,
Big black bin bags. Yeah, black bin bags.
When you get down to the bottom, it's a case of I'll chuck it in the bin bags, carrier bags, and then it ends up with the junk drawer gets tipped into a carrier bag, and then you've got all the other crap.
Trying to be sensible and not pack stuff that is not needed at the other end.
Yeah,
but that in itself is
that's a mission.
Yeah. So
yeah, well, I might need that.
Moving. It is a big upheaval. But the thing is, Bryan, once you're all done, mate, you'll have your own workshop, mate.
Oh, just
like you won't look back, pal. You won't look back.
Bliss.
Where's our other host? It looks like he's stuck in the live chat. Laz, where are you? Good evening. Good evening, Jerry. I think Gordy's in there as well. So good to see you guys. There is a question that's been added. We'll answer the question because it was one of the ones I was going to ask anyway. So we'll kick off with, what are you each looking forward to most on the bench next year?
Powder coating.
Yeah.
Powder coating. Good call.
I'm going to be doing a bit more of the old chop shop. I think I'm going to have a bit of fun.
A bit of customization, yeah.
Yeah. Frankenstein's monster. That's what I'm going to create next.
That's what you want that big Cura for, because
he's going to do 52 videos about transit vans.
Yeah.
Yeah. How far can you chop a van? Low rider, pickups.
Yeah. Just don't do any Jerry Anderson cut-ups, else we'll have words. You know what it's like.
I'm going to do some more. I'm going to show more detail on the channel, I think, especially obviously detailing all the windows. But I'm going to do some ghosting with the airbrush. So I'm going to show more of that, and I'm going to go more in depth of mixing the paint and what I'm using and stuff like that, mixing the colours up. So
that'd be interesting.
We'll get into
that. Bryan,
I'm looking forward to everything. Finally having a spot where I can do it all. Yeah. That's going to be the excitement, really, and setting it out how you want it.
Yeah.
Not going to make the mistake of just sort of dumping it all in there. Just going to sort of get the bits out and get them in what I feel. I mean, I know it will change because it always does, but I've got a sort of mind's eye picture of how I want it. Whether that actually transpires it's totally different. Just the fact of having everything all in one spot and not having to look in cupboards and the different bits and pieces would be wonderful.
It'll look fantastic on day one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Day two, you won't be able to find a thing.
Of course.
Yeah. Good stuff. Phil?
Yeah, well, this year, obviously, I got into the Hot Wheels quite a bit, but over the last few weeks, I've kind of missed the rummage boxes and the older play-worn stuff, which I quite like looking for. I did look through the 1 to 75 Matchbox cars that I collected, and there's probably 3 or 4 of them that haven't really come out as well as I'd have liked. So there's a few of them that I'm going to look at to try and redo. Number 11, the jumbo crane, the tractor, and 28, the Mack truck. So I'm going to be on the lookout for those. And I'm also going to attempt the earlier 1 to 75s, the A's and B's. So I'm going to be out looking for those in 2026. Other than that, quite looking forward to challenges. I saw you put the challenges up for the monthly challenges, so they're up already on the website. So yeah, and I think I'm going to do what follows suit with you guys and build myself a little workshop where I can do my spray painting, because I don't have anywhere indoors at the minute. So that might be on the cards once the weather gets better.
We've got somebody playing music or TV in the background. It's coming through quite well. There it is.
I can hear it.
Yeah. All right, it's quite down again there. Yeah, I mean, the trouble we've got over here is if you haven't got it, it's painting, because obviously it's bloody freezing out there, and getting paint to settle in cold weather is not the best practice. It's all right if you're doing it. I find it was all right doing some black primer. Black primer never goes wrong, really. That we're not doing some 3D models for my daughter. My aim is to get my channel running again. So get Midlife Models up and running again. I haven't done this for a few months. There's no point having one if you're not going to use it, to be fair. So I'm going to do that. And what I've been working on was this. I'll just bring it up on one of my daughter's presents. It's the Crypt Keeper from the old horror TV series, but as you can see, this one failed miserably. It split, and I had to do a smaller version that came out fine, but I had to go at doing that. And I don't care what anybody says. Don't want to go straight onto 3D printing, but temperature matters. Cleanliness and temperature are the two biggest, really. If it's in a cold room, there's every chance you're going to get a split, and if it's dirty, you got a dirty bed, dirty FEP, etc., etc., you're going to get failures as well. So, cleanliness and temperature. Just to recap over the year, we've now got over 430 members on our Facebook group, which is fantastic. So, thank you to all that have joined us on there. We've got 175 members on the Facebook group. We're going to try and push this a bit more content. We'll see how that goes in the new year. So thank you to everybody that's contributed, donated. We'll be doing a new restructure of the benefactors for January, so keep your eye out for that. The more support we can get, the better. The prices go up, so we have to cover our license costs. So thank you to everybody, and I mean everybody that's donated over the last year, not just the recent ones. Everybody that's donated, it means the world to us. Keeps us on the air, really. Right, John's just asked a quick question. I'll try and show it. Hi Paul, what temperature do you have of 3D printing? You're looking at 30 degrees, John. If you've got one of the, like Luke's just brought, have you brought the 16K one? Yeah, same as me. It's got its own internal, they haven't all got their own internal heaters, but they will heat up to 30 degrees. But you want to keep the printer itself away from drafty areas, because that will cool it down and up and down, up and down, up and down. So keep it somewhere where it's room temperature, I would suggest, Luke. You?
Yeah, but obviously mine's in the shed, so the temperature does drop down a little bit in the night. So I tend just to flick the heating on in the morning if I've got a print.
Yeah.
And then I'll go scale whatever I've got to do, and I come in. But usually I get the hot air gun, just warm round the vat,
Right. Yeah.
and once with a heater next to it, well, I've had no trouble with it. I'll be honest. I haven't. The only trouble I find with it, the build plate's a little bit small.
Yeah.
Don't want to start obviously producing more stuff. Maybe some stuff for the lads as well on the. Well, there will be that's in the group. I'll get a chance to get some wheels and different things, mirrors and whatever. Yeah.
The same applies to the PLA printing as well, the filament printing. You because that's exposed. It's no good starting to print and opening the window because you're having a smoke, because it just lets all the cold air in.
Yeah.
The filament gets cold. So temperature and cleanliness is my advice to think about when you're having one of these printers. There you go. That quick. Any questions? By all means, thanks for them. Stick them in the chat, and we'll try to get round to them as quickly as we can. So the first, I've got a range of questions. Some we didn't finish off from the last session, and then some about what we're going to be doing in the new year. So here's one that I've found interesting, because I know that Phil's a collector. Are limited editions good or bad for the hobby? Now, this could be plastic kits, obviously. It could be die-cast, whatever. So we'll start with Phil. I'll drop a bombshell on him. Has it been good for you, Phil, or has it distracted you, or how do you feel about limited editions and collecting, I suppose, in general?
You could quite easily get or fall into the let's call it addiction of collecting these rare models, collectible items and the likes. The problem for me is at the minute, and YouTube are doing quite a bit on this, there's a lot of so-called scalpers. So there's people going into stores buying up everything they can, either, and some of these are allegedly staff that are buying them up so that the public and collectors don't get a chance to buy them and collect.
Well,
they're actually buying them to sell them on. For instance, this is a Matchbox one that's they call it a Super Chase. I don't know whether you can see it. It's the
I see Cobra.
Yeah, it's the Cobra.
Phil,
and there we go.
Mate, there you go. Nice.
The Cobra. Yeah. To buy it now, you're lucky to find that in a shop, so you'll pay 3 times as much probably, and some. I looked at these on eBay recently, and they're £15 to £20, whereas the £1.60 if you buy them when they come out in the shops. So that's the downside of it. But yeah, I quite like the Chase. I always did it. As I said earlier, I like the rummaging through the rummage boxes with the play worn and the you never know what you're going to find kind of thing. But yeah, it's kind of taking the edge off it when people are buying them up to sell them on, not just collect them.
Well, I guess I never thought about it, but it's obvious when you think about it now that when we go to places like Stafford where they're selling Hot Wheels en masse, they've got to be getting them from somewhere. So these are the kind of people that are raiding your supermarkets, and I'm not saying they've struck a deal with people in the supermarkets. That's a bit naughty, but they've got to be getting it from somewhere. Yeah. Martin, have you?
Apart from things like Hot Wheels and stuff, I mean, you got a lot of limited edition things. I think Franklin Mint put out things, Danbury Mint put out things, or limited of like 10,000 or 15,000 or whatever. I mean, they don't really, to me, but a limited edition should be really under us. Should have a sort of under, say, 10,000 if you're talking something like to make it worth your while, because a lot of these, they say limited editions, that's more of a sales pitch as far as I'm concerned. You know, when they like Corgi will put out limited edition on the lorry or limited edition on that, it's like a sales pitch. It's limited, so you need to get one now before they run out.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, it's limited to about 20,000. You think, flipping heck,
I know, Phil.
so you've got 20,000 people are going to keep that in mint condition. So it's not going to really get that much value out of it, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But to me, it's if you can find not so much a limited edition, but a rarer toy, which is been through the mill and it's knackered. There's not many left. They've broken beyond repair, things like that. That's, to me, is limited because you can't get many of them because they won't make them anymore. And there's only a few left in existence. Some of the early Dinkies, some of the early Corgis, some of the rarer breeds like some of the Bembros and some of the old school Diecast. You get stuff like this. To me, that's a limited edition for me because they're not going to make them anymore. So
You know what?
making them anymore. He got no chance. Yeah, that's what I think. Same as some plastic model kits, I suppose, as well. They don't remake them anymore. Yeah.
Phil, you wanted to, you got a point?
Yeah, just on what Martin was saying there, though, but I agree. Would it not be better to buy from the manufacturer, though, rather than risk somebody snapping them all up in the shop and selling them for silly money? If that limited edition, even if it were only the first 5 or 10,000,
but not visual.
Yeah. You could if you were allowed to do that, if they let you do that.
4 buttons in total.
But I think if you was looking for something from a manufacturer, I'd probably looking for. I want either the first one of the first 10 produced. Say they produced 10,000. I'd want one of the first 10. I think that would add more value than having number 999. It's strange how it works. People think, I've got the first, like stamps. We used to buy first edition stamps. My mother was big into buying stamps, and she'd buy a first edition. Or you bought a first pressing of a book. Number one. That's what everybody likes to have. Number one, first one.
Yeah. Bryan?
Yeah, I've got a fair few points to make on this one. You've got different levels. So, like with the Hot Wheels, you've got the standard castings that are popular and are hard to get. So that's one level of collectability. You've then got the treasure hunts and the super treasure hunts, which takes it up to another level. You've got the ones that Phil was saying about the scalpers. That's right too, because I've seen it. I've seen guys going into shops and buying handfuls of these cars. So you've got that. But with certainly like with the Hot Wheels, you've got the standard releases, you've got the sort of the silver ones, which are sort of the next level up. Then you've got these other collectibles, which are, there's one at the moment, but I'm sure Phil's going to produce it from underneath his desk. There's a Ferrari team transporter, so a bit like the Ecuria Cos. It's about yay big, with a little Hot Wheel Ferrari on the back of it, but it's a transporter.
Oh, okay.
Now that is already changing hands for 30, 40 quid plus. And that when that came out, that was $14.99. The Ferraris, because there's been a 10-year gap in the Hot Wheel licensing of Ferrari, people are going mad for the Ferraris. So at the moment, I think there's 3 main colours. Obviously, the first lot that came out were all red. Second lot that came out were all yellow, and the new lot that are coming out are all black. So there seems to be that. Then there just seems to be the popular models like the Lotus Cortina, But for me, my sort of unicorn at the moment is this is Alpha GTV6. Now that shouldn't be particularly difficult, but if you've seen the amount of cars I've looked through to find it, and I've still not found it, it's a little frustrating. But if you're talking about Hot Wheels, there's that. Obviously, Phil's touched on that AC Cobra, which I mentioned months ago. That was a 169 car or 159 that is now changing hands. I mean, you can regularly find it on eBay for anywhere between 10 and 15 quid, and that's only been months.
Yeah.
So there are and Martin's absolutely bang on about the Corgi and Dinky release. Well, not so much Dinky, but the Corgi releases. Limited edition. Well, yeah, it's limited edition. It's limited to the number that they can actually sell. 20,000. I mean, are there 20,000 collectors out there that would want a copy of a Corgi model from the 60s? I'm not sure there are. The fact that they come with certificates now is another side of it. And like Mark said, the thing with certification is that is what makes collectibles collectible. And you were absolutely bang on with that, Mark, because like with the Beatles stuff, obviously everybody knows Beatles released multiple albums. They released the White Album. The White Album was a double album, and the first 100,000 were numbered. Now, if you've got 99,980, it ain't very valuable. If you've got 1 to 100, you're talking minted. So those first 100, that's where the money is.
Well, don't you think, Brian? Don't you think? Sorry, don't you think, Brian, that some of these scalpers, as Phil calls them, they're pushing the price up.
They're artificially creating the price. Yeah,
they're making it rare, because if they see something which they think, if you're a trader and you see something that you think, oh, that's gonna sell well, or that's very popular, and they're buying them all up. You've got several traders buying all these up when they come to the shops. That all of a sudden instantly makes it rare, because you can't get one, even if you want one. Like you want that GT6, you can't get it because it's rare. So therefore, in itself, it's making it a rare collectible item, because people are looking for it, they're hunting for it. But where normally, if people left them alone, they'd be on a shelf in plenty. But
absolutely.
No. So
but that's what they're doing, Mark. They're buying 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 copies of it and sitting on them. And because obviously the second they come out is not necessarily the time to sell them.
No.
In a year's time, when there are literally no more being produced, and you can't get them, that's when they're going to make their money, and that's what nature of the beast, I'm afraid.
Well, we go back to that Lotus Cortina that we looked at, Phil. I mean, that rocketed in price in less than, I think it was out 3 weeks before we went to the auction site, Dagfields, and we'd seen it had rocketed in price. And then when we went to Stafford, it had trebled in price. So, if there's only a limited, I totally agree, if there's only a limited amount, your sellers are buying 10 at a time, they're soon gone. And it's
the one that seems to be the one that's upcoming. If in your travels anyone sees it, it's worth getting a couple. Is the Mini, the Hot Wheels Mini?
Yeah,
it's a little Mini Cooper. It's sort of pale, creamy green, bit like if you remember the old Matchbox Corsair, similar colour to that.
Yeah.
Greeny beige. It's got a roundel for a number, but they ain't got a number on it, and that's already going for a 6-7 quid.
Oh, it will do, won't it? Because people, it's British.
Yeah.
I think there's a big take at the minute, and I think Hot Wheels plus Matchbox now have hit more Hot Wheels. Have hit the right button with producing these British and European cars.
Oh yeah.
Because it's normally some people wouldn't really buy these fancy Hot Wheels, all singing, all dancing. But when you get a good British car, bang, they're on it, aren't they?
Yeah, as Jerry's saying, 10 copies, Brian. There's a guy in town that buys them by the case.
Yeah.
You got no chance. No chance. You're not really as much a collector as the rest, are you, Luke? Is there anything?
No, I look more. I tend to buy stuff that I can restore. I suppose, rarity, I think, is something that's always going to sell over something that's a limited edition, I would say, anyway. It's a bit like with the metal detecting. You can go out, you can find hundreds of the same coin, but there's that one coin that's rare that you find it, it'll change your life. And that's how it works. I think rarity, will always sell. I'm always worth collecting it, especially from an investment point of view. But I look at stuff that I can restore basically in the diecast. That's where I'm at with it.
Like Russ is saying, sometimes it's just good evening, Russ. Good to see you.
Ian's made a comment there.
It's worth waiting. After the demand goes down, the prices will drop.
Well, I think
Ian's
that's what
made a comment there. Got to start reducing the collection next year, not buying so many. Question: when does collecting become hoarding? As I think I have a problem. I look at it a different way. I don't have a hoarding problem. I've got a space problem.
Yeah. That's a tricky one, because even though me personally, like Luke, I like to restore stuff rather than collect stuff. But the trouble is, you tell me I'm not going to buy any more this month. I'm not going to buy any this month. I don't need any more. But then you do, because it's not as much an obsession. It's because you look and you think, well, I haven't got that one. And there's maybe a job lot with 2 or 3 in it. I ain't got that one. Or that's a different one. Or, that looks so bad, it needs restoring. Because sometimes you can look at a car and it's that badly overpainted, and, that thick is about 3 foot thick of paint on it. And it looks like, oh, yeah, that's going to look really cool once you've stripped the paint off and restored it. To me, if you got something like that and then you restore it back to its normal self, it's so much, it's such a satisfying point of view, but it does become like a hoarding type of thing. And like Phil said, space. I mean, it soon mounts up, but you soon run out of space.
I got it, Brian.
Rip your neck.
Go on, Brian.
The Hot Wheels thing is the things that amaze me, though, because obviously my original collecting came to an end as Hot Wheels was starting when I was a kid. And the Hot Wheels that came along, I had no fascination with whatsoever, and I never have. And it wasn't until that Lotus Cortina, I think before that I'd bought maybe 3. I bought a VW camper, I bought a Jag, and I bought that green Escort Mark II. And that's the only Hot Wheels I'd ever bought. And I had no interest. But this sea change that they've done now, where probably a third of it is about a third, I'd say, of the 250 are now European / Japanese / real cars. And it's those ones, because they have done with a few little issues, but it's like that with any toy car, isn't it? I think they've done a really good job with most of them. The Ferraris look stunning. The Lotus Cortina, apart from the stupid headlights, look great. I think that change is very, very clever on their part, because I think they've realised that modern kids are not maybe quite as fascinated by toy cars as we were when we were kids, and so they've got to attract a new revenue stream, and it's effectively it's us, isn't it?
Well, the fact that you go, I think it was the term card fillers, Phil, where you go to the box and you can guarantee what's left. There are all these fantasy cars. So people I kind of get the feeling that they're moving away from these. Certainly over in Europe, they're moving away from these fantasy vehicles. They're just left there in a box. Nobody's touching them. You can go down there and see where they've been rummaged through, and they're the kind of vehicles that are left.
I think
the
the
next.
next.
Sorry.
So I think the next big one at the minute, what I can see from Hot Wheels, is the Formula One range.
Yeah,
that seems to be flying off the shelves at the minute.
The sad thing is that obviously for the UK, the manufacturer that we would identify with most, which is Matchbox, are quite limited on what you'd actually want. There's about a dozen There's an Alfa Romeo Duetto. There's obviously the AC Cobra that Phil got. There's a Volvo 240. There's a Vauxhall Astra. There's a Mercedes and the old Lamborghini Miura's back. But generally speaking, a lot of the Matchbox ones, they're not fantasy, but they're slightly bulkier, and a lot of them are electric ones, which is a bit of a shame.
So I've just seen a question that John Alec was asking: how much do launch games cost on average? And he says, "Sorry, I meant the toy ones." I'm not sure what launch games are.
Did he mean the
Kickstarter,
the Matchbox and Hot Wheels where they on the track, where it launches?
Oh, yeah, possibly so.
Yeah.
Is that what you're on about, John? Clarify, mate, please.
Yeah, they're not. What I will say is, if you were to collect something like the Hot Wheels City playset, you can build it up, and they're around about £15 a pop. But if you buy I've got one in the back room, a garage, you're looking between £60 and £70. They're quite pricey. The full blown model though, but you can get the bits that you can add on, like a fire station or a car wash or a garage, and you can make up your own city, and they're anywhere between £10 to £15 a pop. I mean, one thing that I was always looking for, me and Lee Jackson had a vision of doing something like 3D bot maker, if you're familiar with 3D bot maker.
yeah,
and doing a racetrack. But instead of having a drop, you need a gate where you can release 4 in one go, But I was going to try and see if there was a 4-lane start launcher, and you can't get that. Well, it may come out in the future, but I'd like a 4-lane bang where they all go at the same time.
it's a mechanism that you could probably knock up yourself.
Yeah, possibly so.
It's only going to be a lever with four prongs, and it just as you go like that, it releases them.
Springs it,
You got to do a bit of Blue Peter on it, mate.
Yeah. Here's one of
Place the island in the middle of it.
Yeah.
The trouble is with those sort of games.
Give me ideas, man.
It's those sort of things like that. Those type of toys. It's one of them like Scale Electrics and like TCR. It's a ball like putting it up and down and down.
Yeah.
Every time you want to get it out, you want it all the track out, and you got to design it all. Then you got to lay it all. And then you have a couple of goes, and then you got to put it all the way again. And I think that unless you're going to do a permanent layout like 3D Bot Maker or something like that, or Matchbox movie, whatever. I think that distracts people away from buying stuff like this, and that's why you see a lot of it come up secondhand. Because there was what was that TCR system where you could climb up the wall.
Total Control Raceway, wasn't it?
Yeah, you can get it go up the wall, halfway up the wall, and that. All that sort of stuff. But it's always great to have it as a kid. But a lot of Scale Electrics get it all out on the carpet, and all everything else, and then a couple of runs round, and you put it all away again. And that's the bit that people don't like doing, is putting it away or putting it back together.
Well, the new Scale Electric's digital now, and you can change lanes and everything.
Oh yeah, the new ones. Yeah. Funny enough, I was,
Alrighty. Well, this is going to be. I thought this was an interesting question. What trend do you wish would disappear? I'm going to jump the gun on this one, and it's not so much a trend as a production issue for me. But this is just me being old school. I don't like plastic chassis on the new cars. Matchbox of. I won't even. I picked up an MGB GT. The lads know I like my MGs, and I wasn't going to take it out of the box because as soon as I turned it over, I saw it got a plastic chassis. Yes, I know they can't. That it's not feasible, probably cost-wise, to do in metal anymore. But it just kind of didn't sit well when we plastic chassis.
Yeah. I mean, all right, if you're a collector, we're not going to mess with it. But for a restorer, it can be a flipping pain in the backside.
Yeah.
You know.
It's coloured glass.
Coloured glass.
Black.
Yeah, the yellow.
You know, if it weren't for that glass, I'd restore that car, but I won't do it with that black glass. I think it's horrible. But the mad thing is, it's got an interior in it. When you open it up, the interior's in there, you can't see it. What's the point? What's the point?
Yeah. I've never thought about that trends would be a talking point, but it's surprising. Coloured glass where you can't see the interior. Good evening to Paul Wiltshire, 3101. Good to see you, Paul.
Yeah, Paul. Yeah. There was a big trend on the colour glass, wasn't there? The orange and the yellow glass and the chrome interiors. And I suppose really, in a way, that's more of a psychological thing to attract the children. That's why the brightly colours, and they're not thinking about anybody collecting. They're thinking about, look, they want to draw your attention to it. Look at that. That looks, but it's not. But yeah.
I was just thinking about the Hot Wheels, the trend on Hot Wheels, where I collect. I'll rephrase. I went on Facebook Marketplace and there was a guy selling 50 Batmobiles on a card, and I brought them. I brought the whole lot. The boys, when they came down, I've got them in they're just sitting in like a plastic box now. But it was 1 week. It was the TV Batmobile 66, and then it was a red version of it. Then it was a blue version of it, and then someone else version. I mean, the Jags that have been coming out, Phil, where you've had the grey one, the blue one, these kind of things. That's the trend I don't like. Multiple colours. If you're going to do two, yeah, fine. But not just for the sake of painting with different colours and sticking the same badge on it. I don't like that trend either. I don't know what you think on that, Phil.
Yeah, Hot Wheels, again, they could be accused of that. Just going back to what you said, Martin, there, all the latest ones, certainly 2018, 19 onwards, they've got absolutely no details on the plastic chassis whatsoever. They're almost smooth now, whereas you go back to pre-2008, there was a lot of detail. And previous to that, there were metal chassis as well. So yeah, they've done that. And sorry, Paul, what were you saying there?
The trend of the colour changes. You've got the same like 6 flavours of colours.
I mean, I don't mind it. Like Bryan was saying earlier, they've brought the Ferraris out. It's the exact same model, but different colour. There's a few of the Escorts there and what have you. And also the Mini that's just come out. But there is also now in 2026, I think we're on Case E, which is the next one out. There's the Bat boat that was blue last year.
Yeah.
It's the exact same boat, but black this year.
Which it should have been in the first place. Yeah, that should have been the first release.
Yeah, they are guilty of it. So, but I don't know. Somebody put in the chat something about cost saving, and it may be for that reason. It is,
yeah. I mean, if you've made a mould of something, get every last penny out of it. Before you change. It's like doing a production line of bricks, housing bricks. Red ones, blue ones. You do more than a run.
I think that.
Go on, Bryan.
I think they're falling the same thing as Airfix. With you've got a mould, like you say, you've got that casting, and it's a lot of money creating that casting.
Yeah.
You're trying to maximise it. That GTV6, I know of at least 4 different versions of it. There's a red one, a white one, a blue one, and a grey one. So I do, yeah. But they are quite different. There's 2 saloon versions and there's 2 racing versions. So they have changed it slightly. But yeah, I think they're trying to maximise it and never underestimate the gullibility of collectors, because if you are a completist, and a lot of collectors are, they don't want just a single version of everything. They want every version of it.
Yeah, I was going to say that, Brian. I've got to mention, because that goes back to some of the early Dinkies and Corgis, where people want it goes back to what we were saying earlier about a collector. They've obviously targeting these new ones, like you say, for the different change of colours for the collector who wants one of each colour. That's gone back quite a few years. I mean, some of the people who collect Dinkies or Matchbox or Corgis, they want one of each colour of what was produced. I want a blue one, a yellow one, pink one, purple one, whatever. If they produced it, I want it.
I watched a video last night, and it was all about the Shadow Mobile.
Was it?
Sorry?
It wasn't mine. Was it?
I haven't seen it yet, though. And it was about the Shadow Mobile. And do you? I mean, this might be of interest to PJ. Do you know that there were 8 different versions of it, PJ?
I do know that. Now, the reason why our friend Mr. Ian Utley sent me a screenshot with the different colours of wheels, the amount of wheels,
the size of wheels,
the colour changes, the blue, the green. I think it was even down to, Ian will correct me because he's got quite a knowledge on it, even the interior was changed colour.
Yeah.
And there is
red, black, white. Yeah. And even the size of wheels. So it started off with all the same size wheels. The last production run, they did 2 big outside ones, the smaller ones through the middle. Different colour wheels, different colour tracks, black, silver, grey. What was the other one? But yeah, it was a fascinating video.
I mean, that's interesting. We can talk about collecting and various flavours of. Even as a Jerry Anderson nut, I'm not after various flavours of a mobile. My idea was to get 3 interceptors, the same, paint them white, get 3 Shadow Mobiles, do them in the Applejack green, I think is the closest colour to them. So you could almost emulate in the teams that were in the series, but it's no good having one that's twice the size of the other 2 and wheels don't match. What's the point of that? But I could see if you're a collector and you wanted all the flavours, that's fine.
I'm surprised they never released the radar version.
Yeah, it was always
that appeared in several of the episodes.
Yeah, the control one.
Yeah.
I'm just going to catch up with some of the chats.
Yeah,
so,
I think Ian put a question there. Yeah.
Let me make sure I haven't missed any before. Someone was coming metal base only, but a few, says Laz. You want to get yourself on here, Laz? Ian asking, I think Phil may have already brought it up. What does the panel think about the chances of a UK manufacturer making models of British vehicles at an affordable price in 2026?
Yeah, have we got a UK manufacturer
that will do it at reasonable prices?
Is Hornby still UK?
Yeah, but it's all done. It's all built in China, though, isn't it, Phil?
I think unless Martin Dare gets a nice little sideline going, probably not.
Yeah.
Isn't there Motor Pro? Isn't that a UK company still?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I mean, there might be a company, but I don't know if they're built in this country. I don't know. I mean, most of Hornby stuff is shipped out to be built, isn't it?
Oxford Diecast is done abroad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's extremely slim because you go to these supermarkets and these Matchbox, Hot Wheels and the likes, you're talking £1.50 a car.
Yeah.
I don't know how much or how competitive a new or a UK company could be.
You'd have to do it on. You couldn't compete with the Hot Wheels, mainly because
you couldn't. No, not mass production. No.
But if you could do a reasonably priced 143 scale car, sort of Vanguard.
Yeah, that's.
But even then, I don't think we could chuck the production out quick enough.
You've got some of the more bespoke die-cast, built like detail cars, you know, the ones what cost a lot of money. You know, you get some of them maybe built in this country, but they're limited runs and they don't do many.
Yeah.
I mean, it's strange that you was that come up actually, because I was listening to a YouTube video this morning, funny enough, and it was about the Scale Electrics and the actual guy who designed and invented the very, very first Scale Electrics. And it was called, it started off as mini something or other. Forgive me, I can't remember the name. It was mini something or other. And he had the metal gimbal in the middle of the track, and the track was rubber, and it took off, and it was really doing really well. But his problem was that it went so fast, so quickly, he couldn't expand quick enough. Yeah. And then it dropped off slightly, and then it came back again when he designed an electric motor. He designed an electric motor for these cars because it'd be.
Gentlemen.
We've lost your sound there, Martin, for some reason. Martin, we've lost your sound, if you can hear me. Yeah, Martin, can you hear me? We've lost you. He's talking away to himself, bless him. Oh, Martin, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Martin? No, he can't. He's he's chuntering away to himself. I know, but it's very interesting. Martin, can you hear me? We've lost your sound. Can't hear you. Dan. Oh, bless him. He was going into relog. Oh, he's on mute. He's muted himself. Bless him. Guess muted themselves. All right, we'll come back. Laz, good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen. I just popped in a little bit because, I was typing. And, yeah.
Just building up. So, Martin, can you hear us?
No.
I don't know what he's done. Oh no! We can see you, mate. We just can't hear you. It's like you've muted your microphone. All right. Well, we know we're going to get an in-depth conversation when Martin does come back, because he was chuntering to himself for about 2 minutes. Laz, you could ask your question live now.
Oh yes. Anyone else finished? Can I ask?
Yeah, you yes, by all means.
I think my question was, what do you think? How long is going to take before today's collectible cars like Hot Wheels and Matchbox will become like Dinkies and Corgis? That was my question.
I guess
I think there's a sea change, because we're now at the stage where we know that an original Dinky in an original box is worth X. People have gotten wise to it now, so the stuff they're buying now, generally speaking, if you buy a motor now that's 10 years old, it's in a box, because the ones that went before, people realised that we ditched the box, we kept the car, it got chipped, Marty, whoever restored the vehicles. Whereas now people are buying them as an investment for the future, in the hope that they might go silly money. A lot of people, I mean, even Phil there, behind him, most of his cars are still on the cards. I don't think people are going to open them like we did and play with them.
Yes.
So I think that's the major difference.
I do see silly things. I mean, I did buy a Majorette car 3 weeks ago, and I see that on Vinted for the price, double price, but you can still buy the car in the shop. So I don't really understand, the thinking behind.
All the Hot Wheels are on Vinted as well, Laz.
Yeah, yeah,
Seriously, ones that we're buying at 149, they're on there 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 quid.
I did
They're
see
just chances.
I did see that mini you were talking about. Is it like a mint greenish
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen it. I've seen it on Minted already.
Yeah, and that's already going for. I mean, you can pick them up sort of $2.99, $3.99, but there's people that've got them up there at 6 and 7 quid already.
Yeah,
They've only been out a month.
They buy I think 10, 15.
Yeah.
And they just put them on for double money.
Yeah, Ian said it's a sad sign of the times. We managed to do it quite easily in the 60s and 70s with Matchbox, Corgi, Dinky, and Budgie, for example.
I like
Yeah,
the toys.
yeah. John said, Marty, you lost your sound. No sound. Good evening, lads. I mean, Ian's mentioned there about a British company coming back and doing cars. Just going slightly off topic, if Palitoy came back and started doing Action Men again, because the prices that they're going for is silly money, silly money. Because they just go up and up and up and up and up in price.
Yeah, they started reproducing choppers, didn't they? Because of the price of the original ones now, they've actually started reproducing modern choppers. The old bikes.
All right.
Yeah.
So there's if you can get the intellectual rights, I dare say you can. But the saddest thing was Lido. Really, Lido could have carried on where Matchbox left off and carried on doing it. The trouble with them was that they just concentrated on like 3 or 4 models that they produced in like 1,000 different liveries. If they'd have kept, it was almost like they only had a license for a few vehicles. If you look at the Lido ones, and it's the same with the models of yesteryear. I bought a job lot of models of yesteryear, and I'll tell you what, they're absolutely fantastic models, but nobody wants them. But they are fantastic.
I mean, we looked in that Diecast Collectors magazine, and for an highly detailed model that's made in the UK, you're paying 35 to 40 quid a pop. Just nipped around and start digging, PJ. Yeah, so Gordy's pointing me to Palitoy's old site. Take a shovel with you, because most of it's probably buried under their old site. Like, good evening to Moz. Good to see you, buddy.
Hi, Moz.
Hey, Moz.
We'll see if it's going to drop this on you like a bombshell, sadly. So be prepared. 2 quick questions, yes or a no will do, or if you've got a little bit of detail. Are limited editions good or bad for the hobby?
I think they are excellent if they are limited editions, and unfortunately 9 times out of 10 they're not. Airfix Club as a classical example. I love the idea of it. They put the plastic in a box and they give you a decal sheet that they will never produce again, which is fine. But then you'll find that model that's inside will be then released again, but without that decal sheet.
Yeah.
It's got to be something it's got to add value. I'm a sucker for a decal sheet, especially if it's something that you want. The only thing is that what's limited edition? A run of 3,000, a run of 5,000, a run of 10,000. There's that. Going from the Airfix side of it, we have the vintage classics, and they get released, and you won't see them again for 10, 15, 20 years, allegedly. That's
so. What is a release of limited edition with the model kits? How many would you expect it to be?
Well, the Meteor's 3,000, isn't it, from Revell, that 132nd Meteor. And it comes with a book, comes with photo etch, resin parts, I believe, and it's high priced. But that's a run of 3,000.
What's the run on the Messerschmitt, Moz?
I think that, there's on the box it came in, there was like number 250 or 14,000, but you don't know if that's what's in that particular container or not. It's just, yeah, like I said, it could be that's how many models are in that container, for instance. So we don't really know. I'm assuming it's about 15,000. But like I said, limited edition, we're not we don't be bought by limited edition like we used to, do we? And the problem is, for me, a limited edition would be a minuscule amount.
It's just
But when it goes into the tens of thousands,
Yeah.
I think I think that's taking the P, and then and we have a right that we doth protest too much, and we should do when it comes to limited edition.
I said most limited editions, like with Corgi and things like that, it's limited to the amount they can sell.
Yes, absolutely. I was listening to your point there about Lado, and you were saying that they basically they only had about 30 basic castings.
Yeah,
that's all it was, 30.
Yep.
But out of that, they put on the head of Henry Ford, you can have any color apart from, as long as it's black.
Black,
we could have any color, and we can put it on this casting.
Yeah.
And it's a shame, really, because those castings were just sent off to China, wasn't it? It was all Chinese made. So those castings might still be around in the Corgi bank, because they took on the holdings after, didn't they?
Yeah.
Is yesteryear Lado? I think it is as well, isn't it?
Yesteryear started off as Matchbox, but I don't know. And then it was Dinky. Well, then they bought Dinky. I don't know who's got it now. But seriously, those models, those old classic sort of 1920s, 1930s cars, the detail on them was phenomenal, and the strength was phenomenal. But nobody wanted them or wants them.
I mean, the point was made earlier on that if you're a kid and you start collecting, because you put your phone down, you're going to start collecting the cars you know about. No, they're not going to be interested in 1920s. Probably never heard of a Model T Ford. But quickie to you, limited editions, good or bad? What do you think?
To me,
to Laz.
To Laz, sorry.
I agree with most. It depends how many they produce. I mean, I've seen limited editions, and they produce 25,000. So
we're losing you. Like breaking up, mate. You're breaking up on your microphone.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you've got a lot of crackling and bubbling.
Is it better now?
Yeah, that's better.
So I've seen limited editions with 25,000 printed on the box. So that's not limited, I agree with most that it's 3,000, 5,000. That's what limited edition or something special. But I think it's good because it sells fast. I think for the company.
If you want it, you're going to buy it.
It sells fast, and I think it's also something.
And what's in the limited edition as well, isn't it, Laz? It's what's in the limited edition. It can't just be. I think Airfix have got it bang on point. Airfix Club, but they do the coins, and there's only 500 or 250 of these coins, and they don't add to the price. They say if you want this kit with the coin, order it now, and that's how they do well with their pre-orders. So the kits aren't limited edition, but the coins are at 500, and I think that's the actual the crack of it.
Yeah, they used to do that, didn't they? So it were it kind of you bought direct. They weren't available in shops.
No,
it were a collector's edition.
Yeah. But just for you two to catch up, Moz, a trend that you wish would disappear.
All right. For me, in scale modeling, I want the trend of photo etch being the compromise than the actual choice. I would like to be able to build my tank or my plane out of complete styrene. But if there is something that that could be used with photo etch, it's my choice to use it. I find that the likes of a lot of the Chinese manufacturers, you know, they give you a tractor to build, and the complex bonnet, wings are all made out of photo etch.
Right.
And I think that's criminal. I think if you buy a kit, you'll expect the bonnet and the wings, even though they will probably be fatter because of the nature of plastic. But I would rather use the plastic than the photo etch. Photo etch should be a means to an end, but for those who really want to. But to take, if you're doing a lever, say, just doing a lever, I want that in plastic so I can paint it up and everything. I don't want them to put, oh, we'll do that as photo etch, because it's a cheap way of producing that lever. But also I find photo etch isn't the best for painting and weathering, you know. And I don't mind if it looks a bit overscaled because it's plastic and you can't get the thinness of the wings. You know, that's one trend I'm seeing a lot coming from particular manufacturers. Thunder models are a bitch for it. Mini art as well. You know, I want it in plastic. It's a plastic scale model kit. I want to build that without the need of photo etch. If I want to make it a little bit more detailed, I might choose to use that photo etch. Not say, oh, you can't do this lever in plastic. You got to do it in photo etch. That's a trend I want to see die.
So if you were given the choice, then, so we're going slightly off topics, but would you look at it as, if I want to do it in photo etch, I'm prepared to pay a little bit extra for the photo etch, and if I want to just have a base model, I'll have a base model.
That's the problem. A lot of these base models you can't build without having photo etch because they've compromised tooling it in plastic to give photo etch. And that's what I'm saying, is that if you want to put out this kit that's got all the photo etch in the world, and you know, within the realms of that the plastics that, so for instance, if you're doing a ship, you know, some people like the railings to be made out of plastic. Some people like it in photo etch, and you know that a trumpeter will give you the option of doing it with either the railings in plastic or in photo etch. You've got the choice. But there's other manufacturers who will either give you, who will say, we're not going to give you the railings in plastic, we're going to give them to you in photo etch. And actually, it kind of takes away from the model because, as you know, photo etch is 2D. So it's all flat. Yeah. So it kind of takes away from that. Will I pay a premium? I probably would if I was somebody who was inclined to use I don't mind using a bit of photo etch, but when I was doing a 1/72 scale tank and I had to put the sleeves on, they could have easily molded those hangers onto the back of that plastic. They chose not to. They made it completely flat, and then they wanted you to fold up these little photo etch bits that are the size of a gnat's jobby.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
and I, in the end, do you know what I did? I didn't even touch the foot. I just basically stuck it onto the side and had a little bit, and I had this little bit of sprue in behind just to block it out a little bit where it was needed. And that made that kit wasn't cheap either, but it ruined the experience for me because they made it more complex than what it was because they couldn't be asked to tool it properly. That's what I think it is.
Yeah, more of a cost cutting thing, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, but they also, because it's photo etch, people think it's a premium price. You know, photo etch isn't an expensive way of, you know, of changing a variant of something. And mini art do it as well, which is sad. But then there are those who think mini art kits are the best because they give you the photo etch. I'm all right with that. Choice, not a compromise.
That's choice, yeah. Before I come back to Martin, because bless him, he was talking to himself for 2 minutes. It was a really good conversation he was having. Lads, is there anything that you can think of as a trend that you're not very keen on, or
Yeah,
Way
the
things are
plastic,
going, you don't like.
plastic bases on these Hot Wheels and Matchboxes. Matchbox, I think, is even worse than.
Just lift your mic up again, mate.
I think Matchbox is even worse than Hot Wheels, because
Yeah.
some of the Matchboxes you can buy now, also the grills and the backlights and everything, they're also plastic, part of the base. So I think they look terrible, although I like Matchboxes more than Hot Wheels. But I must say that Hot Wheels is producing better looking cars at the moment. So they use less. They use less plastic.
The point
It's
was
coming
made.
away. It's not being a die-cast anymore, is it? It's becoming more like a plastic model than a die-cast.
Yeah.
That's no offence, but you're absolutely right, Martin.
Yeah,
I mean, the fact if we want to try and restore modern day cars now, you don't need half the kit. I can see a big sale in Mr. Muscle for stripping plastic bases if that's the case.
But the thing is, though, with when you got things like plastic bumpers, plastic grills, and the child's been playing with it, it becomes very difficult to restore it, because you know what plastics like. Some of the cheaper plastics that they use in the toys, and not so much in the plastic model kits, but it doesn't sound well, it doesn't clean up well, and it always looks a mess.
Martin, bless you. We were all fascinated by the conversation you was having with yourself, but nobody had any idea what you were talking about. So
that's a norm, mate. Me talking to myself. Don't worry about it.
So, give it another go, mate. We was talking about something.
Well, I just basically, just a quick one. I was watching a YouTube video about Scale Electrics. Funny enough, like most people, I mean, I cruise through YouTube, and I picked up on this old interview with a guy who designed the very, very first ever Scale Electrics. And it was a fascinating story, because how he started, and what we touched on before about manufacturing, the British manufacturing, and why doesn't people produce it? Well, to cut a long story short, he designed the Scale Electrics originally, and then it basically took off, and he couldn't cope with the demand. The original one that he made went downhill quite quickly, and he still had a lot of staff, and he needed to know what to do to carry on. And he had metal bodies, and he changed the bodies to plastic bodies, and did a different. He used the old trying engines, and it just took off from there. He couldn't cope with the demand, with the American market jumping on. So he actually sold the whole thing to Triang, which is now Hornby, and they took it forward from there. So it just goes to show that even with the best wheel in the world, if you've got something that all of a sudden explodes, you just can't keep up with demand.
Supply and demand.
He actually limited the amount of Scale Electric he could produce, because he couldn't produce it fast enough. So he was doing it on demand, and he had waiting lists for over a year. Interesting video. Just
to pick up on, we mentioned 3D Bot Maker. If you don't know who 3D Bot Maker is, I do recommend it. It's hysterical. But the guy was he was one of the first ones that I saw that was doing 3D printing, and he was 3D printing his own tracks, and he had to quit because he couldn't keep up. As Martin says, he couldn't keep up with the demand for the tracks.
Yeah,
he got a brilliant track. But Luke, sorry, I missed you, mate. A trend that you think, well, this sucks.
Yeah, I said about the glass.
Well, yes, you did. I do apologise, mate. Yeah, you did.
What's the trend with the glass?
Well, I'll let Luke tell you.
Just the tinted glass that they do on some of the models. It's there's one there that I'd like to restore. It's even got the interior inside it. But the glass is tinted black. You can't see it anyway. What's the point? You bring the model.
Isn't that just a spray they put on it, or is it the
no
plastic?
Black? Yeah, just black plastic. Obviously, a cheaper way of doing some stuff in it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
With Matchbox at the introduction of the Superfast or the Fat Superfast, that's when they went silly with the screens as well, because you had gold screens covering bloody silver seats and all sorts on the. It used to do. That's when I stopped collecting it, because it used to do me head in.
Yeah. I think a lot of people stopped collecting them, Bryan, when it went into the 80s.
Yeah.
You know.
The trend of fake and rare colour matchbox models and pre-production models have been allowed to sell them on eBay. This should be banned.
Oh yeah, that's been. There was a big
All right.
thing about that. One particular guy in Europe doing that when he was copying, trending. But then it's common sense, isn't it? It's common sense. If you think yourself, well, there was only so many of them, and all of a sudden this guy's got a listing of about 10 or 20, you know there's something dodgy going on in there.
Right then. We'll keep this one short. You'll have to one model name answer, gentlemen.
Oh, here we go.
If your collection disappeared overnight, what's the first thing you'd rebuy?
Cool. Okay.
No.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
All right, Mark, you go first if you got one.
A better burglar alarm system.
Touche, partner. Touche. What's your most prized possession if you lost it, Mark? That you think? You might be too heartbroken to do it again. To be fair.
Yeah, exactly. To be honest with you, it's a bit hit home because on a personal note, yeah, we did get burgled once, and I lost half my Jaguar collection. And to be honest with you, I stopped collecting for years. Jaguar, I went straight off them. I didn't collect any Jaguars for years. But I think, me personally, I turn around and I wouldn't bother anymore. I say, that's it, I'm done. You know, I'll find something else to do. Yeah,
okay,
I'll find something else to do. Yeah, I'll be that heartbroken, to be honest with you, and that gutted. I just say, no, I'll find something else, another hobby. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I see what you mean, yeah, because you've got. Well, we don't know. People don't know your address, so.
I'd be the same as Martin. There's a few in my collection that I hunted high and low for. Managed to get. I actually got a 1 in 43 scale model of the first car I ever owned. Did me driving test and everything in it, and I managed to get that, the Golf Mark 1. And I was so chuffed when I got it. If that went, then yeah, I think I'd just give up.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I'm exactly the same. This is version 2 for me. My story is in search of lost diecast. I had a collection that went a bit like Mark, and I've been trying to sort of replace it. If it went again, I wouldn't bother again.
All right, Luke, you've been through this recently, so
yeah. But you know what? You can't keep a good dog down. Mine would have to be the Dinky Capris. I've got 2, which never went when my shed was done. They're still in the house, and they're my 2.
And you wonder why?
Wife's in the shed, his collections in the house. Yeah.
So yeah, the Dinky Capri, the one 25th scale.
Yeah, is that the orange one?
I've got orange and a green one I've done.
The orange one was absolutely gorgeous. Lad, you lose something out of your collection, would you replace it?
I think it would be the Matchbox Major Pack car transporter, the blue one.
Right.
Yeah, I think that would be one, and possibly the Ferrari number 75 Berlinetta.
Okay.
In red.
Moz, something goes missing. Ooh, you've had it for ages. Surprise your collection. Do you replace it or do you not bother?
My addiction breeds no bounds. That I've probably got the same kit in a different.
Buy them 10 of them.
Do you know what? I'm just thinking quite deeply about it. Most of the stuff that I've built, I've either given away or I've taken it to model shows, and over the period of it gone to model shows, it's got damaged and broken, end up in the bin anyway. And that's the problem with me with plastic. It's not like diecast. And the thing is, all these kits that have been released, you'll find them again on eBay.
Yeah.
I think I would be miffed if some of my originals got stolen. You know, first print like this one here that I keep meaning to do a review on. You know, I've got the original Airfix Lotus Cortina in the baggie. You know,
Yeah, so we
you
wanted
know,
to see that one.
it's,
Yeah.
you know, rare as rock. Do you remember we saw one of these at Stafford?
Yeah.
But it was in the with the motors and everything, and the guy wanted a couple of £100, and I said that you got more. Yeah, you know, you're never going to get that, you know, because you know I paid. Well, I think I got on Vinted about 80 quid on it on Vinted. It was about 80 quid on Vinted. I know they go for a lot more, but yeah, but things like this, you know, if things like that, because they don't always come up for grabs. But I probably would buy them again. But when I started collecting, as I was saying to you boys a few months back, when I was doing this 10 years ago, I was picking up kits for £4 or £5 because nobody knew the value. Then Scalemates came along, realised these kits are defunct now, and all of a sudden people want 300 quid for a Bond bug. Do you know what I mean? It's, you know, it's difficult.
Somebody knows you well. First thing was would rebuy.
Oh yeah,
3D printer.
That bloody 3D printer. Honestly.
Well done, Jim.
Oh, do you know what? And those are the people I want on my channel. Do you know what I mean? They see the humour. They see the humour in it, and I love that.
If we haven't got a sense of humour, there'd be no point. It's all a bit of fun, for God's sake.
Yeah, I'll tell you, just on a side note there, just what he said that was, I watched. I don't know if anybody else watches Mr. Hughes, who restores real tanks. Yeah. Have you seen his latest video?
Airfix sent a load of kits, didn't he?
Yeah, it was quite funny.
What's he done?
Hilarious. Yeah, they Airfix sent them a load of stuff, kits and mats and knives and stuff, and said they wanted them. Could you make a video for Christmas? It was, you know, and he said, "But we don't want a serious video." Well, they didn't get a serious video one little bit. There's one guy there set a whole lot to light with a blowtorch. It was hilarious to watch. It was. Yeah.
Have I missed anybody on that question? No, I don't think so. We haven't even got on to the new questions. It's been a good night. In general, plastic kits or diecast, do you believe the hobby is getting better or worse? If you've got a thought first, put your hand up. Some grim faces there, isn't there?
Yeah.
If I start, I won't stop. So I'll let everybody
try and keep it short. Go on, Mark.
I always say it's getting better. It's getting better in regards of availability, of whether you're collecting diecast or collecting kits. There's a lot more variety out there now. You know, not including plastic bases and stuff like this. You're looking at, you just got to go around Stafford Place and you see the variety of die-cast models for collectors. Beautiful stuff, absolutely stunning in various scales. You didn't get that years ago. The variety is fantastic for collectors. Not so much maybe restorers, but for collectors, definitely, without a doubt, on the die-cast front. I think it is a lot better.
I think we started a new trend at Stafford because there seemed to be a lot more scrappers. Not scrappers, restoration projects.
It's surprising the amount of people hang around the scrap tables. You go around there, it's like Fight Club. You go around there, you know.
I mean, we did come across, it's slightly going off subject, but we did come across this in the second room. This guy, bearing in mind these tables are, how much did we say they were? £25 a pop? I don't know, £35 a pop, something like that. He got 8 tables in an island. And they were all full of not scrap boxes, but restoration projects. I'm not using that word. and he couldn't keep up with it. They were flying off left, right, and centre. We had five, at least five each.
Well, yeah, it just goes to show that if you price to sell rather than price to hold on to it, you know, I mean, that guy was pricing to sell, and he just wanted rid. He didn't want to take it home with him, you know. Obviously, he didn't get rid of it all, but he got rid of a good amount of it. And to me, that's business. You're buying it in, you want rid of it. It's the turnover. If you're going to sit on some of the stuff you saw there for restoration was ridiculous money. You know what I mean? And that person's going to take his stuff home every day. You know. But this guy
it was like two different price rooms, wasn't it? It was like if you go in the first room, get your checkbook. If you went in the second room, you could come out with half a dozen models for 20 quid.
Yeah.
And have some projects to work on.
Yeah.
He had some nice stuff on that floor as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did.
And a really, really reasonable price.
Yeah.
I find you've got to take your time though, because you seem to get shoved along by other people and moving in the box at the same time.
Get out of your way, me and my wheelchair and my dog.
Yeah.
And one guy kicking me feet.
Phil, from your experience, better or worse?
I'm slightly different actually. I think the restoration side of it is great at the minute. Like Martin said, there's rummage boxes everywhere. You can pick stuff up pretty cheap. It's a good time to join the hobby. From a collecting point of view, I think prices are going through the roof. I don't think eBay is helping much at all because they're not all going for the prices that they're asking for on there. I think there's a little bit of, I don't know, call it overvaluing or just being hopeful. I don't know how they choose to price it, but yeah, I think certainly the restoration side of it's good at the minute.
Bryan?
I'm with both of them. Certain aspects are brilliant. The availability of models, definitely. Like you say, the rummage boxes, that kind of thing. Different platforms, Vinted, eBay, all that. The downside is, and Martin hit on it, is people. This is worth 30 quid. Therefore, I'm not selling it until I get 30 quid. It's stupid. Yeah. You know, if you want to sit on those things forever, then fine, and you will sit on them forever. You know, and there's a lot of that. Certainly on eBay, there's. I mean, if I was earlier on, just as a little break, I just sat there to sort of have a look, and the amount of auctions that were ending in 15 minutes, half an hour, 40 minutes, an hour, and there wasn't a single bid on them because the starting bid was too high. Yeah. You could, you know, so you're not inclined to, and there's no, I mean, you could ask the seller a question, say, would you take this for it? But 9 times out of 10, they don't even respond. So there's that side of it. But like you say, the availability, I mean, pretty much if there's a car you want, it's out there. Someone's made it. You know, whether, and on the previous show, I know you were talking about manufacturers that are up and coming. I agree with Martin's view or take on it. I mean, companies like Welly and Kinsmart, who was the other one? Oh Jesus, there's several new ones that are producing really good little bits of kit that I think long term will come on stream and become much more collectible. Even the Oxford Diecast, the finish on the Oxford Diecast, you can't really fault.
You can't fault it, no. But you pay for it.
Oh, absolutely. That's the problem. It's that, you know, swings and roundabouts.
Ian was saying about you know, an affordable British manufacturer.
But they are producing some fantastic castings.
Can't argue with that. Some of the stuff that John Atwell collects, you know, the American cars that he has, they're stunning. But you pay the premium, I guess. Laz, is the hobby getting better or worse?
I think it's better. Martin is right. There's a lot of cars for restorations available. The prices are sometimes too high, but I think if we're not gonna buy it, I see a lot of people releasing their looks many times because nobody can sell them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think if you keep doing that you're not gonna bid because you think it's too high. They will come down in prices, I think. And the new stuff, I think they are fantastic. I mean, the new Corgi, the Corgi Club releases, and even those Atlas Dinky toys. I think the details are fantastic. I think they really produce nice cars now. So if you want to have a lovely collection and you don't mind that it's not original or whatever, I think they look fantastic. And you got the box. You know, I think it's really good. And as I said on the restoration bits, I always find I never have problem finding cars for replacements and stuff. I would like to stop buying stuff from Steve Flowers because they're no good. They're ridiculous. They're ridiculous. So I rather buy. I didn't buy a lot yesterday, Martin. I behaved.
Oh,
I said,
okay.
I said no because the box is full already. I can't.
You got
But it was nice.
Yeah.
That's another question. What's the trend between stuff going from the UK to Europe?
Yeah.
Are we losing
There is no trend.
to the European?
There's only one buyer. We know that.
But yeah, this is my opinion. Yeah.
Luke, since you started, has it got better or worse?
I'd say definitely got better, especially using 3D printer and stuff for your parts and different things. The only thing I found, I think I've been restoring maybe coming on 3 years, probably not even that long. I go to a lot of the markets, car boots, to buy stuff. But even them now are getting like dedicated dealers that's coming there and they're asking stupid prices for them. I find you're better off looking for a store that's got a load of bric-a-brac there. There might be a couple of cars there, you'll get them like next to nothing. But if you come across a store and it's just cars, I don't even bother asking because they're usually more than what eBay want for them.
Yeah.
That's the only downside to it. I think there's a lot more restorers coming now than there used to be. When there's a lot of people at it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we've lost some restorers, and I'm hopefully, the likes of Martin and Marty and people like that are becoming the trendsetters, and yourself with the painting of the cars that you do. So there's always going to be somebody to, not sadly, but honestly, fill the boots of somebody that came before. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. There's always new processes and way of doing things, ways of painting, ways of assembling. I mean, from my point of view, just answer I missed out on answering the last question. Anything from my original Jerry Anderson collection, so the Dinky models, the Interceptor, the Space 1999 Eagle, that's a lot of nines, the SPV, all them original Dinkies. If I lost any of them, I'd be absolutely gutted. Not so much because I'd lost it, it's the price in replacing it, because you have to find a scrapper and then you have to find all the bloody parts to restore it as well. So, we hit I feel we kind of, when a lot of us got together, we hit the market at the right time. But since then, it's just gone through the roof. But is it getting better or is it getting worse? I think I agree with the majority. I think it's getting a lot better because of the advice we're getting from each other now, the processes, the tools, Dremels, and we never started with Dremels and things like that. It was, files and sanding blocks and whatever you could get hold of. But now you can buy bloody Dremels on stands, you name it. I mean, Moz often say to me, have you got a minute? I want to show you this that I've got off such and such a place. And like a prat, I'm buying it left, right, and centre, like. but it's good advice. I mean, it's sound advice. I mean, I totally agree with Luke as well on the 3D printing. We were buying stuff off suppliers, but we're gradually been able to replace a lot of the parts ourselves, which is it can only get better over the next years.
Yeah, I think also, Paul, a lot of there's a lot of stuff coming on the market, old Corgi and Dinky stuff coming on the market now. I know it's a bit of a not a nice subject, but because people who collected them of a certain age are now passing over, passing on, and their collections are coming up for sale, and you've got people buying these collections up and then taking them to the markets and sell them. So you've got a lot of these collections what have been stuck in somebody's loft for 50 years, you know, coming up. So that's adding to the choices.
Well, without going into too deep a detail, Martin, you've come across that yourself recently.
Well, yeah.
Where you've had a collection that you're doing your best for on behalf of somebody else.
Yeah.
To put it gently.
Well, that's it. Yeah, that's that sort of thing. But you know, there's what is it called? A bearded explorer. What's his name? The guy, the Welsh guy.
Hunting with the Boss.
Yeah. He buys up collections, and you know, he's getting quite a few collections. And I think you know, as time goes on, people pass on, and their collections are sold, and that's where you're getting more coming onto the market. And that way, you'll probably get a few years of that, of an age span between a certain age, and then it will die off until the next lot of collectors end up getting to that point. It's sad, but it's true. It's a fact of life, isn't it?
We've got our own bearded hunter, and I'm going to give a shout out to Bryan because I've been looking for vehicles left, right, and centre, and Bryan's gone and hunted them down for me. So I'm really grateful for that, Bryan.
I enjoy doing it, but Luke's bang on though. It falls into three categories. You've got the mint in box ones that, like Mark says, these guys go around and buy up the whole collections. You don't stand a chance because you can't offer that kind of price. You've got the I've just inherited this box of cars I want rid, and that's the ones you want to be buying because you'll buy a box of 20, 30 cars for 50 quid, and that's perfect. But Luke's bang on. I mean, I've been at Boots House walking around, and you've got the guy that's got the box of coins, the box of medals, the box of this, the box of cars. You go over to the box of cars and you pull out a chitty bang bang that's got no wings, no wheels, no gear stick, no seats, no passengers. And he's wanting 15 quid for it because it's chitty bang bang. It's insane. Jerry mentioned it. They want mint in box type of prices for cars that. And PJ, you hit the nail on the head with the Batmobile. You buy a Batmobile, you got to buy the rockets, you got to buy the new screen, you got to buy the new wheels, you got to buy all the decals. You got all that stuff makes a model that you buy for 2 quid into a 40 quid model. You'd be better off going and buy the Corgi Club. Yeah.
You can blame your price guides for that, though, because they only tend to state the mint in boxed price. So someone does a quick look up on either internet or these price guides that we have. They see the car, they see a price. They don't realise that that's mint boxed and it's top level as well.
PG's local PG. Get the T out. PJ's local record shop. It's like that. I had a record shop for 15 years, and everybody that owned a Beatles album thought, I've got an original Beatles album. I said, well done. You and about 78 million other people. And everybody thought if they had an original Beatles album, it was worth a fortune. It ain't. And the guy that's close to PJ, he's got albums there, which you'd be lucky if you got a few quid in a charity shop. But they're asking 30, 20, 30, 40, 50 quid.
Every Iron Maiden album is 30.
Exactly. And the trouble is, they're not, if you get, there's the record buyer price guide. And in that, it will lay it out. And if your cover's damaged, that diminishes the cost. If it hasn't got an original inner sleeve, that diminishes the cost. If there's any scratches on it, that diminishes the cost. And that doesn't seem to get factored in with the cars at all.
No. But the irony behind that, I'll come to you, Moz, after this. Just a quick point: the guy that's selling Carl that's selling the records in the record shop, he's overpriced his albums,
Yeah.
but he's kept his diecast because he's now got the diecast collection, and his motto is buy cheap, sell reasonable. We went down there, and the lads brought 3 or 4 vehicles each at what's the average price, Mark? £2.50, something like that.
Yeah, they were a lot cheaper than you'd get anywhere else.
Cool.
Or they was on par. They were on par with on par, cheaper than Stafford. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, they were cheaper than Stafford. Yeah,
they were reasonably priced for what they were.
Yeah, we've got two places in Martown where we can go to. We haven't revisited one of them because his prices have gone through the roof. Like the guy goes to Stafford, buys them for whatever price, and then puts a markup about £2.50 on them. So anyway, Moz, sorry, mate.
I just want to clarify two things because Ian Hulley is absolutely spot on. He put up a comment saying, donated loads of DVDs to the charity shop, and I hate seeing bid for me on eBay in charity shops. Aren't what they were. They should support the local community and the local people who donate. You're absolutely spot on, mate.
Yeah.
You know, the charities, listen, I will swear to you now, charities is the third sector, okay? There's so much money that goes into charities. It's, you know, if you're a charity, you can list and you can sell for free on eBay. There's no fees whatsoever if you're a charity, okay? The money that's being made by these charity shops is absolutely criminal. And to the point, I will say this, not being a conspiracy theorist, being a reasonable man thinking about it, I don't believe cancer research want to find a cure for cancer. Because if they did, there'd be 10,000 people pulling in £1 million not having a job. I really do believe that. I believe some of these charities, if you're going to give your money, get to hospice care, people who are looking after these people. But cancer research, honestly, if the amount of money I don't buy it because if they did find
cancer, the flu and rabies by now, the amount of money they've had.
Yeah, I don't believe that. But going back to Bryan and the record thing, Music Magpie and World of Books have destroyed the market for records and books because they have over 1 million listings and they sell them all for £2 a pop. The money
Discogs is another one.
Pardon?
Discogs,
yeah. These big companies, they buy books for the pound from charity shops. They list them on eBay. They get the best rates ever from Royal Mail. You know, there's no way they could sell a book for £2.50 free postage. Not a chance in hell.
I will say that, diverting slightly, with Discogs, you've got the ability to put your own collection. It's almost like a Facebook marketplace for vinyl. So you can quote to say that it's mint in box, it's good, or it's struck. Yeah. It's not the best. Anyway, Moz, do you believe your hobby is getting better or worse?
I think we're at the pinnacle, mate. I don't think we're going to get any better. I don't think, I think more people are on about accuracy than whatever's in the box these days. You can make the perfect fitting plane, tank, whatever, and before you know it, people are complaining that it's got the wrong wheel on it. It's got the wrong, and that shows you that we're at the pinnacle of our scale modeling. I don't think. I think over the last 15 years, that a 1/32 scale in detail is now being reduced down to what you were getting a 148, and what originally was in 148 scale is now in 172. I think that gap, and I don't think you can pile any more detail in a 1/72 scale kit. In plastic, if in 148 you go too much, it's not possible. the tooling. I think we, unless there's a way of if there's a way of increasing that a little bit more, then they'll put it in. But I don't think you'll do it in plastic. I think it'll be more in the resin, if you know what I mean. It'll be more in the resin side of it. People will want to do that. As I said, scale modeling and and styrene has its limitations, and we're seeing that void being filled with 3D casts for years, but now we're seeing it in 3D resin printed, if you know what I mean. So I think pricing of models is going up, but then we've then crying out for better accuracy, better scans, better drawing, better fit and everything. That costs time, that costs money. Those scanning machines that they use are tens or hundreds of thousands of pounds that they use to scan these machines in and models in. The time it takes to research, you've got to pay people to research this stuff out. So when you're going on saying, oh, scale modeling is getting more expensive, it's our own fault because we've been begging them to give us accurate models.
Is that taking part of the originality out of it, where it was kind of buy to fit than buy and it does fit? If you see what I mean, where you have to.
You still have to fettle parts like that BF 109. I've got it all together. I'm just trying to finish up now. I've painted it up now. But that belly, what a bitch to get that thing in. Honestly, I was shaving. In the end, there's a little bit of a gap there, and there's a bit of a raise. But I was just thought, once it's on, you're not going to see it in the end. But that was a nightmare to put in. But some people have got it to fit in lovely, so it might be just me, But it fits at the front, lovely at the front here. It's just that little bit at the back. But I had to really, do some fettling to get that to fit. It's a lovely, I don't know. Well, what do you think? It is what it is, isn't it? You've all got to do some work at a kit to make it fit. And it's up to you to.
Well, that's you're either a modeler or an assembler, aren't you? Really, if you like a bit of modelling,
There's the difference.
There's a difference. Yeah, I will confess I don't particularly like the builds of models. I rather get in there and paint it up.
Yeah,
I like that. I like the painting and everything. So
that kind of goes back to what you were saying about you wouldn't be overly concerned if you lost the part, because part of your remit is to do the next thing.
Yeah.
Really. Alrighty. I don't know whether I've missed anybody.
I will say, you say that these trends. Have you lot found that the price of diecast has gone up?
Yeah, definitely.
If you look at corgi stuff, but then corgi stuff but then you'll notice that others will follow suit. I'm surprised to see Matchbox so cheap in Lidl. But they're not really all that, are they?
If it hadn't been, I know it's going back a few years, but if it hadn't been for COVID, the prices of diecast would have stayed where they are. It's because everybody was finding something to do for 2 years, and you couldn't get hold of paints, you couldn't get hold of paint brushes, you couldn't get hold of glue, you name it. Stuff was out of stock, left, right, and centre, and people buying collections as quick as they could list them.
We never had that. We never had that in scale modelling.
Yeah, we did.
We never had that in scale modelling.
Also, quality, I think, is of certain companies is not so good. I mean, I think I've had 2 or 3, and I know of some more people who've had the Corgi Classic, the vehicles, the lorries. The chassis are collapsing. They all come from China. The chassis are just rotting away, axles breaking, chassis snapping in half. And stuff like this. So some of the quality of some of the parts nowadays is not so good.
You never, is it? Yeah, the Eagle Transport is 150 now. Yeah.
Right. Now we're looking towards next year. Is there a grail piece that you think you can realistically get? someday, probably next year. Is there something that you're really after that you still haven't got in your collection or want to restore?
Yeah.
There's lots of chuckles and grim faces.
Yeah, there is, but I can't remember the name of it now. I know what it
I
is.
got you, lads. Go on, lads. If you know what you're after.
I just want to say I'll go first because it's very easy for me. I haven't got any set targets or something. I'll get what I get.
Hold your mic up again, mate. You're breaking up again.
Yeah, I'm not
I
on the
think you've
charger,
got a
so-
wire one. I think there's a wire connection problem on that one.
Yeah.
One second. Let's try now. Can you hear? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're breaking up, mate. But go on, give it a go. Try again, lads.
How is it now? Is it okay?
Yeah, go on. That's better. Yeah, that's slightly better. Go on.
Yeah. The connection
No.
is not really good. Anyway, I just want
I don't think it's a connection.
I
I
will
think it's the wire on your headphones. I think your headphones have got a wire loose or something.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But anyway, the connection isn't good as the screen was freezing up a couple of times. Anyway, it's just I will get what I get. I will restore what I find. So I don't have any set targets for next year or
That's
anything I want to restore. So that's why I just wanted to go first because it's quite
Yeah.
easy
That's absolutely spot on, mate. Yeah. Phil, something you're looking for on your bucket list?
Like I said earlier, I've got the early Matchbox 1-75 regulars to look forward to finding. There's nothing on the list that jumps out at me, although I'm going along to Doncaster on Tuesday. So
Okay.
I might find something there.
Well, by all means, put up a list of vehicles or models that you're short of, and if anybody can help out, please give Phil a thought, and we'll
I'm
try
going
to
to probably be able to help fill out with the early ones because I've got several multiples of the early ones. Mine are the second ones. When you sorted that box out at Stafford, Phil, there was loads in there that I didn't actually have, which was amazing because it's the second incarnation. I'd concentrate on getting the first incarnation, and I have got multiples. I actually did get the Austin Cambridge the other day. That's on its way. But there's a couple of the early caravans I'm after. The Bluebird and what's the other one? They're all 25 A, B, and B. I think the ones that I'm after. So they're the ones that I'm on the lookout for, and the refreshment wagon.
Okay. Mark, is there anything?
Yeah, I found it. It's the Bi-Serious excavator by Dinky, and I'll show you the picture of it. That one there.
Oh,
Nice.
I've got 5 of them in my stash, mate. If you want one.
Oh well, yeah, pass one over. But after
I was expecting Phil to come up with one in red. I brought 3 of these.
Yeah, mine are no good for Mark. Mine's new old stock.
I want one, but I want a tatty, not destroyed, but tatty. If you know what I mean, so I can restore it up. Yeah, that's my holy grail if I can find one.
Yeah. Luke.
Yeah, I'm looking for 2 in particular, which is the Mark 1 Granada that I want to restore. It's going to be a replica of the car my dad had, and also a T-cab Scania. That's what I'm on the hunt for at the moment. I'm trying to get the biggest scale I can get in that, maybe a 118 or a 110.
You need to keep that Cura though, mate, just in case.
Yeah.
Don't part with it. You'll regret getting rid of it if you.
Yeah, I'll get a bigger sideboard for that thing.
Yeah, just move into the house. Like I said, and move your missus into the shed. You can't go wrong. I want to be there on that day when you tell her, though. Anyway. Moz, bucket list for next year.
I haven't got a bucket list. I would love to get my hands on an original FX Ferguson tractor, but they're between £5,000 and £1,000, aren't they, in their box?
Holy sweet baby Jesus.
Look on eBay, mate.
Yeah, we won't be helping you out with that one, mate, as much as we'd like to.
I was going to send you something, hoping you'll buy me one back, like, you know?
Good luck, brother.
Good luck with that one.
Yeah.
I just honestly, this what we do. I think it's a miracle, really. What you boys do with the old diecast and stuff, and you know, it's a hobby that just it never goes stale, does it? And that's the miracle. I think there's always something else. You know, and it's like you boys. Right? See, we worry about colours. Do you boys worry about the colours? Do you worry about if that shade of red is the exact shade of red that the original Matchbox was sprayed in back in 19? You know, we do. So there'll be a point in time where I think you boys will be looking at how accurate you can get your finish to be.
The thing is with that though, is when the manufacturing, unlike when your plastic model kits, they come as bare plastic, not painted. But when you're manufacturing die cast or anything like that, the color variations do vary even on the one particular shade of color, which has been proven, but some people won't accept it. But it's been proven. People say, "Oh, wrong color." But you can buy several. Say you bought one particular car, the Mercedes Pullman in the burgundy, and you bought 6 of them, and you line them up. Each one of them will be a different shade. Because two or three factors. You've got one factor is the fact that they were designed and manufactured as toys. So accuracy with color shading wasn't that particularly their strong point. And secondly, it's like painting anything else. I mean, when I used to paint in the factories with the engines and stuff, and the paint goes down the barrel, you know, you get different shades. You change your barrel, you know, it gets different again. You know, and these manufacturers, the way, if you see how they paint them, at the end of the day, they are different shades. And so that, to turn around and say that shadow or that Mercedes is the wrong shade of red, all right? If it was a particularly way off, you know, then fine, I agree. But slightly different shades, no, it's not good. It's not right. But I agree with what you're saying with the plastic model kits, because if you want to get it to look right, then it's got to be the right shade, because that you're putting it on, so you need to get that shade right.
I mean,
Gary's right. No, that's what I'm saying, Gary. They are, you know, we have these arguments about what olive drab is and what the hell is of the Yamato was before it sank. I'm just saying they're going to get that in this hobby. When they get more people doing it, they'll have these intricate debates on whether it was left, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, that wasn't a chrome filler cap on that. That was a rubber one. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying, like, Gary. We have this debate now, like.
With that being said, we're not afraid to change colours, because you're same with the model kits. You're doing it for yourself. But if you're doing a Dinky Interceptor, you could go for the bloody jade green colour, but that was never the original colour of what the Interceptor was. It was white. So we're not afraid to go from the green, because, you know, Dinky had 10,000 gallons of jade green left over that they painted every model with.
Yeah.
So I prefer. I mean, although my channel is called Midlife Models, the videos that I do are called From Ruined to Refreshed. It's not ruined to replica, or, you know, I'll do it the way I want it to look, which is what all of us should do, really. You know, it's your. We make some stick in the comments, but you do it to how you want to do it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's what I was saying. And my point is that we are so fickle in our scale models now as plastic modelers, and we basically and we get to the point where we might even put people off if you're not careful.
Yeah.
And I was just saying that in the future, will this become the thing in diecast? That it was never purple. Yeah, but I painted it purple because I wanted a purple. Yeah, but that ain't accurate. And that's what I was trying to get at. I wasn't saying that you're doing it now. I was just saying as a roundel that when people get fixated,
it's probably a whole different debate. But I think there's two different mindsets, isn't there? So you've got your kit builders like you guys, and you are replicating the image on the front, the actual plane, and get it as close as possible. Whereas, and I think someone said it in the comments earlier, diecast gets chastised slightly for that if you try and replicate something and pass it off as an original. I actually restore, not to sell, but to put in a cabinet, give it a little bit of extra shelf or display life. So I'm not too bothered if I change a blue card into red. That's never bothered me.
The other thing that you can is that you are a lot of the modelers, not a lot of the modelers, some of the modelers are showing their things at a show. We haven't got a restoration diecast show to go to where people can pick us apart. We've got our audience or our critics is YouTube.
Yeah. And that can be quite nasty. You're saying about being accurate and stuff like this. I had somebody say to me, a couple of years ago, I put a car up and I had number plate and I put it on. And the first comment was, that car wasn't made in that year. That's a wrong registration plate. You can't have that on there.
Yeah.
And I thought, it's a number plate. It makes it look good. That'll do. So then in that mindset, it actually made me think, okay, I'll check Google Images. And when I do a car now, I check Google Images and get the broad registration year, where they choose for years. And then I get the best I can registration. But I've had things like, the colour. That colour's not right for that era. Or, so at the end of the day, for me as a restorer, I'd like to restore it not back to the original as Dinky made it, because I think there's so much detail in that casting, what was put in by the manufacturers, which gets lost amongst all that thick paint. And I like to see the grille looking good. I like to see the indicators on it. I like to see the chrome down the side, which, it's a mixture between the original and the real one. That little blend, and
but I think that's an interesting point, actually, because somebody made a point in the chat about the plastic parts, and one of Laz's favourite parts of his builds is painting on the headlights, painting on the brakes, and things like that, and doing the and if it's just plastic, then it's showing nothing really. It's not highlighting anything.
The sad fact is, though, now whether it's in Moz's area, the rivet counters, or the restoration, that's the wrong number plate. It goes on everywhere. I watched a video about making films, and filmmakers get letters from people that say, in that film that you made there, you had a Ford Sierra Cosworth, but unfortunately the number plate on it was 2 years too early, and that particular car wasn't around when this film was made. And so whatever you do, there's going to be someone out there that's going to pick a fault with it. It was a murder case, this particular film that they were talking about, and the Sierra Cosworth was not a police car at that time because it hadn't actually been come out yet. But it seems to me there's those people that are prepared to find fault with whatever you do, because effectively they've got nothing better to do themselves.
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
Keyboard warriors. It has reached. Are we all right to go on for a little bit? It's the last one of the year. If anybody wants to shoot off, that's fine. Laz?
Yeah, I'm going because my phone is not very freezing a lot.
so it's not very good connection.
All right, my friend.
Happy New Year,
We'll,
lads.
Happy New Year, mate.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
All the best, lads.
Yeah.
Try and make.
we'll catch
Cheers,
up
guys.
soon. Mate. We'll catch
Big
up.
soon, mate.
All right, buddy. Take care, mate. Happy New Year. Have a good,
Happy New
good
Year.
break.
If I can.
If you can leave.
You can leave. You can leave.
We'll just run another couple of questions because we haven't even got to the new questions yet. We're still on the last few from last time. So well done, blokes. Let me just go. What's your collecting or building goal? No, let's put it slightly different. What's your goal for next year? Not building or collecting, just in general. What's your goal for next year? Stick a finger up if you've got an idea.
Yeah. Make it to my next birthday.
Oh no! Don't say that. My God,
That's me. Hey, when you get to mine, that's what you
Bernard's mobile number.
Every time you wake up in the morning, you think, God, I've made it to another day.
Yeah. Don't say that.
God, the morbidity sometimes of this channel, honestly.
No, we're just reality show, mate. Reality show.
It's reality TV, car crash TV. This is DSMC car crash.
No, on a serious note, my goal for next year is to get the powder coating system up and running. Yeah,
is that going to be tricky, mate? Because this powder coating thing, I'm assuming it involves fire. Is that what it is? Is it?
No, not really. No, the only heat that you need is to cure the paint. Once you cure the powder, you spray the powder on, and then you put it in the oven at set temperature for a set time, and then that sets it solid. Yeah, that's the only heat involved.
Yeah.
There's a channel at the Mark called who does Tonka purely. Is it Restored Toys or something like that?
Well, I've been talking to Jeff from he used to do powder. He used to powder coat his Matchbox on his Corgi and Dinkies. Powder coated, and he's got the same powder coating system that I intend using. But he does classic mopeds now. Jeff and Jenny's classic. But he used to do. Yeah. So he used to do his Matchbox and stuff like that years ago. But he turned to doing classic mopeds now. But yeah, it's quite simple. It's just you just need a bit of space.
All right. Well, something for next year, an ambition, whatever. What you're looking forward to doing?
Only like I mentioned earlier, I might start looking at this somewhere to do painting. Invest in a shed or something like that where I can paint all year.
Absolutely, yeah. The aim for next year is to have it set so that everything can be done and not upset anyone.
Life.
I'm very fortunate that I live in a house, just me, dog. You know what I mean? She must be obeyed. I see where you've got to have your own space. One of the things I've found over the years is how many chemicals we use in the processes now. Dangerous chemicals. Think about it. And like I said, when my nephew comes over, I shut the door, or he doesn't come in this room without me being here because there's so much hanging around. But to have your own space to do modelling is one of the greatest gifts. And like I said, I've got this room here, right by the road. I know, ventilated, everything. I can spray when I want. But I know that in his room, there's a lot of flammable stuff. But yeah, get yourself your own little room and make sure you got a big lock on it to protect, the kids from it and stuff like that. It's incredible.
So, on the back of that, what's your goal for next year?
My goal for next year is to actually organise this workshop properly. It's a shitter. It's an absolute shitter. Look, I'm not joking. Excuse the mess, but see that there? That is all the kits I've got this Christmas. It's never ending. The kits are up there. They're there. They're on that shelf up there. Everywhere there's kits absolutely everywhere. And I'm not going to build them all. I'm going to start, I'm going to give more away this year than I have done in previous years. But yeah, it's just, I need to, I got it all set up. And now it's just covered in crap where I'm doing all my 3D printing.
You want a MOS Models raffle?
Yeah. Just put it all on Vinted for £1. That's what I'll do. I won't tell you when I put it on. So, but yeah, it's, these days goes like, I'd like to hit 50,000 subscribers this year. I doubt I will. I'm up to 32 now, but I like to get another 10 this year to make it 40. If it's really good, 50. But yeah, it's one of them. I don't really have much to do. I'll still keep doing what I'm doing.
Day by day.
Yeah, I know people are critical of me, but that's who I am. So, if you don't want to watch me, you don't. Find somewhere else to watch. I've come to that conclusion this last week, at least, anyway.
Yeah.
But I know that when things people want to ask the questions, they come to me and ask me to ask them. So, but yeah, I'm just FX and chill will carry on. I'll still do my builds. I'd like to, continue with that really, and just enjoy it and actually enjoy the modelling. That's what I want to do. Is just get back to the actual workbench. The 3D printing stuff is good. It's nice to learn it, and I've got a lot to learn with that. And I like to help, people with scale modelling. That's what I want to do.
You have done so, my friend.
Yeah.
Nobody can accuse you of not doing that.
Luke,
what you got?
Yeah, I want to build my channel a bit more this year if I can. Hopefully get bigger than Martin.
That won't take, mate. That won't take you long.
And I want to try and get to grips with the airbrush.
In what sense?
Yeah, better paintwork.
Better paintwork?
I just want,
mate. Can't be done, I'm afraid.
Just want to build the channel up. That's what I'm going to focus on.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit more. So I'm going to try. Well, I am going to get back to doing one video a week once we get out the new year and once the house is finished, at some point in January. That's the plan.
Yeah, I've been told off by enough of my cohorts to get my channel back up and running. So in January we'll be doing the European build. Get some more content up there. Hopefully we can have some more collabs, what you want to call it, of doing stuff on this channel. I'd like to. I don't think we'll do it, but I'd like to get to 500 by the end of next year. So if you haven't subscribed, well, firstly, if you haven't subscribed, please go find the boys and subscribe to their channels, to Phil, to Bryan, to Luke, obviously to Martin, and to Moz. If you haven't already subscribed, please go and find them. If you haven't subscribed to the DSMC YouTube channel, please subscribe. It means a lot to us. Quoting the obvious that many people quote, it helps the algorithm to find us. Again, I'll re-say that we're going to be rehashing the benefactors schedule. I'll put that up in the new year. Not now. Again, thanks to everybody that's donated, including the boys for their time as much as anything else. They've always been here to help us get through to make these Sunday nights. So I'm not sat on my own talking to myself, which is always useful. We'll answer one last question and then we'll call it a night. What has been your favourite diecast or kit build from the last year? Phil, if you want to say your best find, that's fine. Whatever it may be. grim faces again. Look at that. I'm just serious thinking about this smoking out something. Look at that. Go on, Bryan. Good lad.
Favourite find of the year was this one. Now, Mark II Cortina.
Nice.
Nice.
At a boot sale. Absolutely minto in the box.
I don't know.
That was lovely. And unfortunately, I've boxed it up, so I can't show you. But that little Kummer pickup that I did with the drums for the SO air fuel, it is my favourite thing. Quite like this one, little Morrishausen. Yeah, hopefully a lot more next year.
Good stuff. Luke, your favourite build of the year?
Probably so far, it'll be that Revel kit that I'm working on at the minute. Really enjoying that. I've obviously not built anything with that many parts before. I'm enjoying it. I'm hoping to have that done next week or two, get the video out. And obviously, you guys will be the judge of how that comes. There's one thing I did forget to paint. I had all the paint mix up, was the front splitter, so we're going to have to mix that up again. I'm hoping I can get it the same shade, but it won't be too critical because it's at the bottom of the car.
Sorry, I've just seen a comment that says,
Hey, it's not my fault they do good kits.
I think that just goes to show you're well loved, mate.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Reading comments on one other video, it didn't feel like it.
No,
you know what I mean? But I've as I said, a couple of days was a bit crap, but I feel better for it now. And like I said, those who have commented on that particular video, that I think one of them was already banned anyway from my channel for his racism. So if they want to go on to that channel and spout their bile, let them do it. Like, you know what I mean? So
we had a. I don't want to go into the details.
Yeah.
It's imagination, but we had this conversation the other night, and if you put yourself on YouTube, you are basically not bearing your soul, but you are putting yourself out there.
Oh yeah, of course we are.
Yeah, and you've got to have a fairly thick skin.
But I told you can all have a thick skin, but a heart is made of glass.
Yeah,
That's what I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. I'm not going to rise to it,
No.
but I appreciate, come on here, and there's some great lads in here that have followed me on to here. Do you know what I mean? And those are the ones I respect,
We've been friends for a good few years now, and bless him, he's been a big supporter of our channel, helped me and vice versa. We spent a lot of time talking about with Bryan 3D printing.
Yeah, crumbs.
Yeah.
Good nights there.
Which has been some good nights. We do have some off the air chats, obviously to advice between ourselves. To might pass it on to anybody else.
Yeah, but we got stuff done, didn't we? Look at when Moz was dismantled. If Moz hadn't dismantled that 3D printer because of the issue that I had with it, I wouldn't have been able to fix the two that I got.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
What goes around comes around. It's brilliant.
It even goes to the likes of Martin coming up here and sticking a rocket up my backside to get things done right. And
I've just got massive cramp, man.
There you go.
I've been trying to walk it off for a few minutes. That's why I jumped off quick.
So there's a lot of, when we say about things like, what we're doing next year, there are a lot of processes going on in the background that we're trying to resolve and fix and yada, yada, yada. Is there anybody I've missed? What's your collecting? Martin, did I ask you what's your collecting goal for next year?
Collecting goal?
Yeah.
Nothing really. I'll see whatever takes my fancy. If I see it, I like it, I'll get it. Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, we've gone past our limit.
Yeah. Can I just advertise my quiz tomorrow night, if that's all right?
You can. Are the all plastic kit questions?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
I'll watch from the sideline.
Well, do you know what? I know. They're going to be all right. You know, you're going to have to know your paint colours. You know, there's easy and hard, but the thing is, though, they're multiple choice. So the idea is that if you don't know the answer, have a guess. Even that's the idea. Because I know there's a lot of people who don't know the knowledge that some of us may have of reboxings and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's having a bit of fun with it, isn't it? Do you know what
I'm assuming there's a massive gift package here involved with this, Moz.
What's that?
I said I'm assuming that it's it's going to be like The Price is Right. There's going to be lots of lovely prizes, but
because I've got 3 prizes already. I'm
already in Devon,
but but if I can get this to work, lads, I'm prepared to do one for this channel.
Are you going to host it?
I'll host it. We'll get the questions together because it's all done with an app on your phone.
It's a done deal, mate.
No cheating. All right, it's cost me a bit of money to set it up, but once I've got it working, there's no wrong. We can't jump on here, and this time we want to do a quiz one night.
Yeah.
All done with an app. So
nice.
it's really good. When you see it, as I said, we can maybe after I can show you the.
I'm impressed with which wheel do the charioteers swap first when the chariot breaks down in Roman times. Yeah. No. Never mind.
It's all past quiz.
That was awful.
We're not going to do crap like that. It's thing, but the software's really, really good. The software's really good, and
just to double down on that, go and visit Moz's channel tomorrow night if he's doing this quiz.
Yeah,
I expect Gary and Gordy to come first and second, or in no particular order. But we'll see. You'll come back and give us the results next time we get together.
Mate, honestly, it could be something that if the software is as good as they say it is, and my friend uses it in pubs because they can just come with the app. It's all online. And the only problem I'm having is there's a delay. But when I click the button to put the question up, everyone gets it at the same time. So if there's a delay on YouTube, you can answer it as soon as you like. There's so as soon as the question goes live, everyone has the opportunity to answer the question.
All right.
That's the idea. So maybe a delay with you watching me, there may be a 10-second delay in you watching me, but on your phone, it all comes up. The picture comes up on your phone. You press the button, click and I've done it as multi-choice. There's 1 in 4 answers is going to be right. So yeah, it's going to be a good bit of fun.
We'll have a talk about that offline at some point.
I can show you it online if you want. I'll show you offline how it works. It's all quite clever.
All righty.
Anyways,
I battered these guys to death tonight, so
it's been great. Good to see you again, Phil, and Bryan, and Dan there, and Luke, and PJ. It's been great.
On behalf of the DSMC, my thanks to Phil. My thanks to Bryan.
Happy New Year, everyone.
My thanks to Luke.
Happy New Year, guys.
My thanks to Moz.
Always a pleasure, never a chore.
And thanks to my partner in crime, Mr. Dan Dare, Martin Dare. Yay!
Happy New Year, everybody. Enjoy yourselves.
We'll see you in a fortnight's time with something completely different, as they say in Monty Python. So from me, PJ, signing off. We'll see you soon. Cheers.